So Donna and Rachel are back and all of Gotham City are turning on the Titans members. Things really are about to get wild. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Titans Season 3 Episode 10, which was a really great episode by the end. I mean, in the start of this episode I was thinking, God, this is feeling a little bit filler, and I am ready to see something a little bit different and a little bit new rather than seeing Scarecrow and Red Hood again. However, I do appreciate the fact that they are building up to a massive crescendo finale by the end of this season, and obviously that is going to involve Scarecrow and Red Hood in a similar vein to how the Season 2 finale did involve Superboy and Deathstroke. But you know, that being said, as the episode progressed, it did get a lot better, and also it did pack quite a few massive punches and quite a few shocking moments in there as well, which I'm going to be breaking down for you in this episode review. So the first main storyline aspect that we have to talk about is the fact that Red Hood is now back with Scarecrow, and they used the contaminated water situation from the end of the previous two last episodes to completely turn Gotham City against the Titans, which I just think is so mind-blowing and really, really powerful, and also really true to the Scarecrow character, as he is all about his fear toxin, and this time he is quite literally going into the brains of Gotham City and really manipulating them and really turning them against the Titans, which I just think is so shocking. Like I said, it really does show what a true master manipulator the Scarecrow character really is, and also how he was able to use a shady cop to do his dirty work, and then by the end of the episode he managed to get his dirty hands into Wayne Manor. Absolutely shocking, and you can also see just how dangerous this character is in terms of how he is also manipulating the Jason Todd character, and that shocking finale was just so mind-blowing. And you also really feel sorry for the Titans as well, as they are trying so hard to do the right thing despite this really impossible situation, and you can really see how helpless they are in there as well. It was really cool to see the return of the Donna Troy character and the Rachel character. However, I do feel like they did the right thing, which is to focus on the existing team in Gotham City before they bring in the other existing team members into the fray, which is just going to be so good when you get to really see Rachel and Donna really returning and really helping the Titans return to their former glory days. I think it's also really interesting. I know they're not going to focus on it, but it would be really interesting to also see what the other Batman Rogue Gallery villains are really making of this Gotham City situation that Scarecrow is absolutely dominating. I know it's a Titans show and not a Batman show, so you probably won't see it, but I just think it's really interesting to think about as well. So like I've said in all of my Titans reviews, I absolutely love the cast and characters that they've got in this TV show. Brilliant casting, and all of the character portrayals are really great. So let's go through them one by one. So of course, first up we have Brenton Thwaites, who is playing the Dick Grayson character / Nightwing / Robin, and is just so powerful. Seeing him in this state, somebody who is usually really strong, really indestructible actually at some point, really moody, and ultimately a true leader figure. However, this time we really get to see how helpless and vulnerable this character is. I guess the last time that we saw him in this kind of state is when he really broke down and decided to go to jail in the second season, and this time he is trying to navigate the Titans and trying to navigate this Gotham City situation, but you can just really see that it is just getting a bit too much for him. As well as neatly following, next we have Jason Todd / the Red Hood. We got to see the return of the Red Hood character after we kind of thought that this character is maybe going to have a bit of a redemption arc and return back to the Titans, but I feel like this episode really destroyed any hope of maybe him having a bit of a redemption arc, as they really now have returned him back into the villain role. And I love the pre-tease that they had before the opening credits, which really was setting up the battle and the war between Nightwing and Red Hood, and I literally cannot wait to see that. I know we have seen a couple of instances where they have battled, but I really do feel like they are now setting the two of these up for this massive colossal battle at the end of the third season. And you really can also see just how much of a manipulator, like I said before, the Jonathan Crane character is, as he really is pulling every single string with all of the characters, including the civilians in Gotham City as well. The way that the Jason Todd character was stabbing the Batman portrait by the end of this episode, and with Alistair Crane just looking at him in a really demonic and a really menacing way, really did put a chill down everyone's spine. And I also do think now that they actually maybe are going to kill off the Jason Todd / Red Hood character at the end of the 3rd season. Next up, we definitely need to talk about Scarecrow himself. Jonathan Crane is so abusive, such a psychologically manipulative character. And like I said, he is just manipulating every single person. He has totally taken Red Hood out of the Titans, out of Batman's clutches, and has really turned and manipulated and groomed him into being this really evil villain that is now turning on his former teammates and just really destroying everything that used to be really positive and hopeful and innocent about this character. And like I said, he is also really manipulating all of Gotham City against the Titans with the contaminated water, which obviously he did. And by the end of this episode as well, not only has he gotten rid of Batman from Gotham City and has removed the Titans from Wayne Manor, and he knows that they can't go back to Wayne Manor as obviously the police are going to immediately look for them over there, and instead has used this as an opportunity for him to get into Wayne Manor. So I just feel like this character is so psychotic, yet has planned everything perfectly like a master chess player as well. Next up, we have Barbara Gordon, who I also feel like is a bit of an unlucky victim in this situation. Again, she really wants to be a good commissioner, and she also wants to be a good friend to Dick Grayson, who she also used to be a teammate with when she was Batgirl. Yet this time she is almost losing her position as the commissioner by the end of this episode, as she obviously intervened and tried to save Dick Grayson's life by shooting that shady cop. So I just feel like Barbara Gordon really is collateral damage in this entire situation as well. I thought that the Starfire and the Blackfire scenes were absolutely amazing. I had always thought that the Blackfire character would return to her villainy days, as when this character was being teased in the 2nd season, they really were setting her up to be this true evil character and to be a bit of a villainous character. Yet, when we've seen her in season 3, she has seemed to have been a bit of a good character that has always kind of been neglected, not only by her sister and her parents, but also by her people in Tamaran. Yet in this episode, we're actually seeing that this character does have capabilities of being truly evil, as she maybe did take all of Corey's powers away from her, and now is being a truly powerful character herself, and maybe now wants to return to Tamaran with Corey's powers, and then get that queen position that she always felt she was entitled to. Yet it's left the Corey character completely powerless, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this dynamic, especially what Conor's going to make of it, as obviously in the last few episodes, they really have built the Blackfire and the Conor relationship. That being said though, I am really glad that we're able to see the Conor character in his true Superboy self in this episode, really trying to save the day, especially in that brilliant scene where the Titans are wanting to hand themselves over to the police, but obviously due to Crane's manipulation, all of the police are turning on them, and then seeing that battle where Superboy really did save the day for a lot of the different characters. It was really cool to see the Superboy character in his true form, as I just feel like this character has so much potential, especially as he is the product of both Superman and Lex Luthor, and I really want to explore that storyline strand a lot more than the relationship that he's had with the Blackfire character. It was also so brilliant to see that Gar is such a formidable character in battle, as well as his tiger form really did save the day for a couple of other characters as well. I feel like Gar is bringing the comedy value within the Titans group, but this time they were really showing that he actually is a really great team member. And also seeing him reuniting with Rachel at the end of this episode was really, really great. However, there did seem to be something a little bit off with the Rachel character, and I wonder if she has got a bit of sinister evilness in her, as she didn't seem like the pure Rachel that we saw in the previous episode. And then speaking of returning characters, I absolutely loved the return of Donna Troy. Absolutely no nonsense, such a defiant, triumphant character who is returning to Gotham City. I love the way that she was just walking into Gotham City knowing that she is just going to save the day, she is going to whip everyone back into shape. And I always loved the Wonder Girl character and Donna Troy, yet I do feel like across the first 2 seasons, they really have neglected this character and haven't given her the prominence that she really does deserve. However, I now feel like she is going to really get that, really going to get her moment to shine. And I just cannot wait to see her interactions where she's just going to be really telling Dick off, telling him what on earth has he done, how has he completely ruined everything, how has he completely destroyed everything. Obviously it's not his fault, as he has tried to do everything that he can do, yet has just been overburdened by the situation and by Scarecrow and Red Hood as well. But I just cannot wait to see Donna Troy back in her true form in the next few episodes in the season. I did really also like how they kind of focused on the human civilian characters. And like I said, they obviously needed a target to focus all of their rage, their terror and their fear on. And Scarecrow really did sculpt the situation so that they would channel all of this towards the Titans. And not only this, but he also got his way into the police group and really did use that shady cop to also have the police force really focusing down on the Titans' character with the aim of maybe even trying to kill all of them as well. So I just feel like that police battle scene really was absolutely brilliant. And like I said, it's only going to get bigger and better in terms of really having Titans versus Titans at the end. And I wonder if we're also going to get a bit of a Robin versus Robin scene, which would be absolutely brilliant, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the next episode of Titans. So overall, I really enjoyed the 10th episode of the 3rd season of Titans. I did think it was a little bit slow, a little bit filler, and a little bit repetitive in the beginning. However, by the end of this episode, I did actually think it was really great. I absolutely loved the return of the Donna Troy character, really showing her final step to complete her journey of really being the hero that she is destined to be, which I think is going to be absolutely brilliant when she is then returning to the Titans. And they really are setting up the Red Hood to be hated by everyone. Of course, Brenton Thwaites' Dick Grayson character is going to have the most animosity against this character, as obviously they share a lot of history. But also, I do feel like if they bring the Dove character back, she's got a massive vendetta and revenge based on what he did to the Hank character. Also, Superboy is going to have a bit of a vendetta as well, as he wasn't able to save the Hank character, and also all of the other Titans members. And of course, the main other one is going to be Tim Drake himself. I feel like they really are going to do something very unexpected and maybe have Tim Drake being the person that ultimately kills Jason Todd, as it's going to be really ironic, as at one point he really was admiring the Robin character when he was in that persona. However, ultimately the Red Hood character was the person that killed Tim Drake's parents, and obviously he's going to try and get his revenge for that. So I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next, and also when they're going to reformulate all of the Titans being back together. I cannot wait for that moment to happen. It's going to be truly glorious. But that's all of my thoughts for the 10th episode of the 3rd season. Now I'd love to hear from you, so please let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye everyone.